Hi, my name is Darcy Black and I work for Dynamysk Automation. If you missed the first two episodes of this series, I suggest you go back and give them a look. I spoke a bit about the process automation world and potential improvements that we can realize with today's technology through digitalization efforts. Today, I'd like to cast our eyes forward, see what AI and machine learning could really bring us one day in the not so distant future. I have a problem statement. In OT, we have a bit of a challenge. We really don't like change. Change is risk. Risk is potentially unsafe and usually expensive. Upgrade your control system server and you may inherit some operating system errors that weren't there before. Upgrade your control station hardware and you may find something as simple as a BIOS chipset that messes with how your base control system operates. I've seen a number of undocumented features mess with control systems. I even saw a simple virus scanner file update that was not qualified to go on the control system servers or the stations, but it propagated through the control system, doing its best to isolate the control system software because it had identified it as a virus. This resulted in a complete loss of view by operations for several hours. That's bad. That's really bad. Thank goodness the operators were able to react, shut down the plant, but these plants don't start up in an hour. It takes weeks, sometimes months to get them lined out again. I am very glad that I didn't do that virus scanner update. That's all I have to say. Using modern PCs and servers in an OT system, though, has created a situation where OT experts are forced to upgrade hardware. And IT hardware, if you haven't noticed, changes almost from week to week. If I buy a server today that has X, Y, and Z specifications, I can almost guarantee that 5 years from now, I won't get the same specs, drivers, or chips, and it matters. We test the heck out of systems, trying to ensure that no undocumented features sneak through, but the upgrade is a risk. And of course, as you guessed it, not upgrading is a risk. One day that hard drive will fail. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it will fail. Then we may have to upgrade in a hurry, and that is not fun. We can mitigate this risk now with virtualization. Virtualization is essentially duplicating the hardware of a computer in a software environment, which is a little bit of a mind-bending statement for you. By virtualizing computers, we can potentially solve the hardware issue, but it creates another issue. It's expensive for one thing, but it forces the OT technology one layer deeper into the IT world where the requirements are different. Plus, the technology is different. Now we need IT people to be more adept with the OT world and vice versa. But there are many upsides to virtualization, cloud computing being one of them. Cloud computing is really just a server sitting on someone else's desk, or more accurately, a server in a farm somewhere or another cabinet. It's great because now every site that can utilize cloud computing can centralize control. Perhaps the virtualized servers for several sites can be in one location, maintained by one expert team familiar with OT requirements as well as IT intricacies, operated by one expert operational crew that can operate multiple sites for one owner-operator. When the information being processed is available remotely, we open the door to even more wizardry. Take, for example, the scenario of process modeling. Process modeling is great in that you can mathematically model the process performance, equipment performance, and product quality parameters. The downside is that the modeling is static and needs to be constantly changed to reflect real-world equipment performance. Now we're getting into a realm that's more applicable to a process expert than my process automation knowledge, but imagine, if you will, a machine learning algorithm that can adjust to equipment as it degrades. The AI using machine learning can see that the heat exchanger is degrading in performance, make process adjustment recommendations to an operator, then add the heat exchanger to a maintenance schedule for chemical cleaning or mechanical cleaning at the next shutdown, depending on severity of degradation. When the OT or IT operators of the AI need to adjust the parameters, they can do so remotely and instantaneously, perhaps even virtually into a digital twin designed to be a test bed and ensure no unsafe conditions result as a side effect. Perhaps the time dilation of the process modeling can be adjusted to give it some runtime in the virtual twin to ensure process upsets can be accurately handled by the AI, giving it years of experience in mere hours. Where the advantage of having remote access to information comes in is that at the beginning, someone has to teach the AI. Someone has to model and upgrade the AI. Constantly traveling to site to upgrade and tweak the model in the beginning isn't really cost effective. Once the AI is trained by the best operators to handle the unknown situations, it'll never forget. The AI can train new operators and support many operators. Someone asked me one time if I thought an AI would one day be able to control a complex process facility. I don't think it's a question of capability. That capability will come. It's a question of culpability. Will we be able to give up that level of trust and control? The risks of an industrial facility upset are immense. So we'll probably still train operations personnel and use the AI and machine learning as another tool in their tool belts. They'll help us to process more information faster and help us to understand process dynamics to make the right decisions at the right time. It may be a while before people turn over operation of billion-dollar facilities to an AI to see how it goes. Turning that over to an AI would be a pretty big risk. But we will get there eventually. Probably. I know it will be fun and interesting to see if and when we do. Anyway, that's what I know about things, so thank you very much for listening. Have a good night.